Recording.
Well, I'm just leaving Carnarvon and had a nice cabin at the Capricorn Caravan Park, and I bought from the IGA roast chicken and some rolls, and that's what I ate last night, so I'm well fed. I didn't buy a whole roast chicken, just a half. And anyway, I'm well fed, fueled up, and on my way to the Billabong something motel, 240 kilometers away. My sat-nav won't navigate me to that for some reason. It finds it, but it just won't navigate me to it. 240 kilometers, so that's what I've got. It's 474 to Geraldton, and yeah, it's just too big a day. I could do it, but I don't want to make the bike do it, and so I've decided to split that up into two legs, both about the same distance. So it's the Billabong Homestead Hotel Motel, believe it or not. That's what it's called. It's a hotel motel. Anyway, so that's where I'm aimed for today, and it's 240 kilometers. So yeah, it's roughly halfway to Geraldton, and that'll be good enough for me today, without pushing this little bike too hard. Listen to my Jack Reacher book. This book is, I tell you, the leaps of faith that this guy, somebody Childs, I forget his first name, makes in connecting his story and plot together are phenomenal, and the characters, of course, are all so much larger than life. So it makes for quite an entertaining read if you don't take it seriously. I don't know how you can. You know, this is looking in the direction now that I've just travelled from, and yeah, it's, you know, it's flat, isn't it? It's very flat, but like I said, there's a lot of standing water around. You can kind of see it ahead there, just in the bottom of this valley here. So there's been some good rains, and you know, it's a coolish day today, so I'm grateful for that. Making forward progress, I'm grateful for that. And yeah, so this is the only high point in hundreds of kilometers that I've been able to get some elevation on, and yeah, do this. And Jesus, I'm so close to the edge right now, but I'm just going to point this camera down, because some people have put stones together and put their names and down there, and good for them. More energy than sense, perhaps. Oh. Oh, there's a cock and balls down there. Oh, I hope you can see that. Let me see if I can zoom in on that. I don't know if I can get that. Let me just move this like so, and see if I can zoom in. That's about as much as I can zoom in. But of course there is. Oh, that's funny. That's really funny. I'm sure it's not visible on this camera on my helmet, but look, it's down there, trust me. It's funny. Oh, God. Blokes can never not do that. Oh, well, it's recording now. It did say no SD card a couple of seconds ago. Anyway, on my way from the Billabong Homestead Roadhouse Hotel Motel. On my way to Geraldton, got full tanks. It's raining, of course. Well, not of course, it's raining for a change. And I think I'm going to get sick of that from this point on. But anyway, it is what it is. And I'm geared up for that. I got my rain gear on and my rain gloves, which are warm, a little too warm, but anyway, we'll deal with that. And 240 odd kilometers to Geraldton. And of course, my sat-nav has completely given up now. It's not going to take me anywhere. It doesn't matter what name, address. I've taken the battery out. I've done everything to try and fix this, and it's not going to navigate me anywhere. So it's a piece of useless equipment, other than to tell me right now I'm going 59.1 kilometers an hour.
Recording.
Well, I'm right hard up against the coast right now, and just coming into Geraldton. So yeah, it's a bit windswept today, that's for sure. I've been riding in this this crosswind the whole day. That's sort of into me from the right, so it's like a headwind crosswind. And boy, has it slowed me down and given me the heebie-jeebies a couple of times just getting blown across the road. So glad to be riding into Geraldton, and I'm going to be here for a couple of nights just to do some laundry, do some editing. I want to adjust my clutch and timing chain again, and then I'll head on south. Well, I'm driving south on what is called Indian Ocean Drive. So I left Geraldton this morning, and I'm heading south towards Perth. But what a beautiful, I'm not going to get to Perth today, let's understand that, but what a perfect early winter's day this is. I'm guessing the temperature is like around about 18 degrees or something like that, but just over to my right, I'm right hard up against kind of the dunes, sand dunes, and they vegetated, of course, but just on the other side of those is the Indian Ocean, and it's just as blue and as flat and as calm as, just stunning. I'll try and get a bit of visual of that soon. Well, I've just turned onto this track to a spot called Freshwater Point, and I'm just going to negotiate this washout here. Okay, into the bushes I go, but that was done, so okay, let's have a look. Some barriers here, so obviously you can ride off into the wide blue yonder here quite easily. Well, I've arrived at this spot called, I think, Freshwater Bay, or whatever it is, on the Indian Ocean Drive. I've just recently turned onto it, probably 5 or 10 kilometers ago, and saw this turn off, and I thought, oh, I'll take it, see what's out here. And yeah, I mean, that's the Indian Ocean out there. Look how calm this is. It's unbelievable. So it's just so flat. It's beautifully blue. As you get higher and you look out onto it, a little bit of a point out here, and I guess that's a lighthouse, a modern lighthouse up there, just marking this point. But yeah, a wonderful day, just beautiful. I guess it's around about 20 degrees now or something like that. And yeah, just a nice little spot to stop and take a little break here. Well, this is a spot called Greenhead, and this is the Fisherman's Island lookout over South Bay. The bay kind of goes around there, and it's just a beautiful day today. This is south of Geraldton, and on the way down the Indian Ocean Drive to Lancelin, where I'm headed today. Well, I got an amazing sunset here at Lancelin this evening. It's just incredible. Now I can see on this little screen that it's not quite doing it justice, but yeah, the colors are just amazing, and I hope when I put this into the editor that it actually comes out the way it actually looks here. It's phenomenal. Well, I'm just leaving Lancelin now, on my way to Perth, well, through Perth and then on to Bunbury, where I'm going to stay over tonight. So just under 300 kilometers to go. Had a fantastic little bungalow at the caravan park last night. Just superb, everything about it. It was you know, a little bit pricey, but a 2-bedroom bungalow, so well appointed, it's unbelievable, even to the point of them providing fluffy white bathrobes, and everything about it was just amazing. Dishwasher, oven, microwave, coffee machine with coffee pods and a milk frother, a 66-inch TV in the lounge room, and a 50-inch TV in the bedroom, in the master bedroom, separate shower and toilet. Just incredible value, and spotless, absolutely spotless. I cannot fault it in any way whatsoever. So well done to, I think it's called the Excellence Caravan Park, and boy, they're living up to their name. So if you're going to swing by between Geraldton and Perth at any stage, I would strongly advocate the Lancelin Excellence Caravan Park on the south side of Lancelin. So when you get to the T-junction, you turn left, and yeah, book one of their bungalows. You'll never be sorry about it.
Recording.
Oh, here's a change in scenery. Riding through this beautiful forest, and Oh, the smells are just amazing in the morning air, and yeah, it's just beautiful here. I'm holding the traffic up behind me, but to be honest with you, I don't care. You know, there's nothing I can do about it, so that's kind of it. But I'm just enjoying this. This is stunning, riding through here. After all the flat, dry, arid, dusty country I've been riding through, this is such a change. And look, it's probably going to feature more and more as I get further and further south. But for the time being, it's a change, and I'm really enjoying this.
Recording.
Well, I'm now riding along the Esplanade, or as Aussies would say it, the Esplanade, in, what's this called? Scarborough Beach, I think it is. And that's just to the west of the city of Perth. So I'm trying to give the city a wide berth, and I was on the motorway, but the motorway is not a good place for a Postie bike. You just become an obstacle and a frustration for the traffic. So I got off, and I'm on this Route 71, which kind of runs all the way along hard up against the coast, and then crosses over to Fremantle, and I'll find my way to Bunbury from there. So I'm ignoring right now, well, my sat-nav doesn't navigate, we know that, and my Google Maps was trying to route me on the motorway, and so I've turned that off, and I'm just winging it for now. I'm convinced there's a way to get across the Swan River mouth and get over to Fremantle. So we'll see how that goes. Gonna ride into some rain, so I've got my rain pants on. I haven't got my rain jacket on yet, simply because it blocks all the airflow, and I've got my puffer jacket on underneath this jacket just for a bit of warmth. So I might have to stop pretty soon, get my rain jacket on. Okay, so if you really want to know why I'm sitting here on the beach, at Coogee Beach, just south of Fremantle, and I'm not already at Albany or beyond, well, here's the reason. On Wednesday I was riding into Perth. I was heading toward Bunbury, in fact, so I still had a couple of hours still to travel before reaching Bunbury. But at the north side of Perth, at a traffic light, the bike cut out on me kind of unexpectedly. It had been going fine, and it kind of cut out as if the tank had run out of fuel, one of the tanks. But it wasn't the case, because it was way too soon for that. Anyway, I cut over to the other tank. It was kind of at a turning lane at a traffic intersection, and fortunately I had a red arrow that enabled me to restart the bike before it turned green, and I rode on. And I took the very coastal route to bypass Perth and head on toward Fremantle, and I think it's called Rockhampton, and onward from there to Bunbury. And as I was riding out of Fremantle at a traffic intersection just across the road from a big shopping centre. I think it's called the Mylee Shopping Centre. The bike cut out and I just couldn't get it restarted. Then it was raining, not a heavy rain, just a drizzle, so I pushed it across the road about 100 metres into the shopping centre basement parking so I could just get some cover. And I thought, oh well, maybe I've just got to maybe it's just a spark plug or something that I can get to relatively easily and get sorted out. Anyway, I changed the spark plug and it made no difference whatsoever, and it certainly wasn't that I'd run out of fuel. So I called it in and I shopped around for the nearest, Googled for the nearest motorcycle repair place. There was one called CR, I think, with motorcycles, and they were a bit reluctant to send someone out to help me out at that point in time. They probably had good reason for it, I'm not sure. And I found the next place, a place called Dream Adventure Motorcycles. And this guy, Mark, answered the phone and he said, look, give me 10-20 minutes and I'll be right around there. We'll pick your bike up and bring it in and have a look-see. And true to his word, he was around there in about 20 minutes and we loaded the bike up. Mark Dickinson is his name, a South African expatriate that's living here in Fremantle now. And he picked the bike up and we took it to his workshop. And the first thing he did was he pulled the plug out and based on what I described to him, and he tested the bike full compression, just putting his thumb over the spark plug hole, and there was zero compression on the bike. So he said to me, look, this is a bigger issue than you think it is, and we're going to have to take the head off and see what's going on, whether there's some damage to a valve. And he tested, he just took all the covers off and looked at the valve, the rocker arms and all of that kind of stuff, and that all seemed to be okay. And he ended up taking the head off and it showed the story. So the piston was completely knackered, the inlet valve wasn't closing, and the barrel had scoring on it, and basically the motor was history, and it wasn't going to go any further. So it came down to decision time, what my options are. Do I abandon the bike? Do I get a new motor for it? Or do I get rebuild parts and get the motor rebuilt? And I've had very good experience with Lambda motorcycles over in Brisbane, who are Honda CT110 specialists. And so I gave Mike at Lambda a call and put the story to him, and he just started rattling off what rebuild parts we would need to rebuild the bike. And together with Mark's experience and knowledge and Mike's knowledge of CT110s, we knocked together a shopping list, which was basically to rebuild the motor from the big end all the way out. So that was, it's basically from the big end, everything except the gearbox, going to be a new motor, including a clutch rebuild, which I'm pleased about, because I did have the clutch issues on my way from Broome to 80 Mile Beach, and so that's where we're at right now. The bike is sitting in Mark's workshop. My bike just gave up. It literally gave up at an intersection, and I got a hold of Mark here, and Mark has very kindly loaded the bike up, brought it into his workshop, and we've discovered that it's kind of a catastrophic failure. We've got a valve issue on the exhaust valve. We've got a piston broke, as they say in the classics. It's knackered, and the barrel's scored, so the whole motor is basically unserviceable. Trying to figure out what to do. We're either going to replace this motor or repair it, whichever is the quickest and the least expensive. So that's where we stand right now. So it's up on the stand. Thank you, Mark, for all your efforts, and I'll certainly give a shout out to you on the vlog and your good service. So thanks for that. I've been bloody lucky, I've got to tell you.
Man, to get this far after what he's explained,
yeah,
I was pleasantly surprised. Just shows how strong these motors actually are.
They are. Yeah. I tell you, I've been so lucky with having access to people who can immediately diagnose what's going on with the bike and get it into a workshop and get some action on it. So I'm very grateful to Mark for his responsiveness. Great guy, and I highly recommend it. He's a very, very experienced adventure motorcyclist, for one, and also a very well-trained, qualified BMW motorcycle mechanic. And so a CT110 is easy peasy for Mark. So anyway, the bike's in his workshop. We expect the parts to arrive on Monday. He will rebuild the motor for me as soon as they arrive, and hopefully by Tuesday, Wednesday at the latest, I'll be back on my way again. So it's an expensive process. One, because just the parts alone are, I'm getting a tire done at the same time. So let's call it, a lot of work being done on the bike. The whole motor rebuild plus a new tire. So this is going to cost me, just in parts, sort of around, and getting the parts over to Perth. Lambda came to the party with covering $50 of the express mail cost, so thank you again, Mike, for that. And but still, it's going to cost me around $1,800 just for the spares, and then there's going to be Mark's time, of course, and so I don't know what that is going to be at this point. Neither can Mark. So it's this is where I'm at. So it's a beautiful day. Yesterday was equally beautiful here in Perth. I've got to say that. I was expecting, drizzly grey weather, but it's not. And I think for the weekend it's going to be great weather. Probably on the day I ride out it'll be raining, but that's will be a small price to pay. And so I've got a cabin at the Coogee Beach Caravan Park, and a nice little cabin, very convenient to some shopping centres, a little coffee shop down the road, and this is where I am until Wednesday morning.